Your favorite local fast food restaurant may disappear before you even notice. That's because the sector is now preparing for the year ahead, and companies are re-evaluating their businesses, cutting loose the unprofitable branches to ensure their growth and stability in the near future. Here are 15 fast food chains that are closing restaurants right now. 15. TGI Fridays. Once hailed as the original casual dining bar and grill, TGI Fridays is facing closures as it re-evaluates its portfolio. The American chain, founded in the mid-60s, has seen a decline in sales and is trimming its store count. During the pandemic, 20% of its restaurants were shuttered. Back then, former CEO Ray Blanchett expressed concerns about an additional 20% of the chain's storefronts closing in the following years. He noted that it wasn't going to be easy to recover from an 80% decline in sales. Unfortunately, his predictions seem to be accurate. 14. Chick-fil-A. Despite robust sales, Chick-fil-A is closing several locations in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Alabama. The iconic fast food chain, known for its chicken sandwiches, has faced challenges in certain markets that have led to these closures. 13. Arby's. Arby's, known for its roast beef sandwiches and curly fries, had seemingly recovered from the impact of COVID-19. Sales were improving, and expansion was in the fast food chain's plans. However, by the end of last year, the scenario started to change for the company. System-wide same-store sales declined by 8.7% in the first quarter of 2023, followed by an 11.5% drop in quarter 2. Investors also worried about Arby's franchises struggling with high debt loads. 12. KFC. KFC is one of the first on the list. After a 25% drop in net income for the first quarter of 2023 due to declining sales and foot traffic, they began closing stores to rebalance their business. Nearly 70 KFC restaurants have closed since 2020, with 35 of them shutting down in the last year. They've even exited an entire U.S. state, Louisiana, closing all their stores in the region. According to the U.S. Sun, dozens of KFC locations are closing down in Louisiana, and the last 7 closures meant that the chain will no longer serve customers in Louisiana. KFC restaurants in Jennings, Crowley, Eunice, Lake Charles, Lafayette, and Sulphur were reportedly closed without notice. 11. Firehouse Subs. Firehouse Subs, with over 1,200 locations across the U.S., Canada, and Puerto Rico, is facing mounting problems with some of its biggest operators. Rising competition is driving Firehouse Subs customers to bigger sandwich shops, like Jimmy John's and Subway. Guest visits went down by 9% in the quarter ending in June, while sales remained flat. The biggest problem, however, is the amount of debt accrued by franchisees in recent years. 10. Bojangles. Bojangles, famous for its Cajun-seasoned fried chicken and biscuits, is going through a corporate reorganization that includes store renovations and closings. In the second half of 2020, 23 restaurants in North Carolina and Tennessee were first on the chain's chopping block. In 2023, several Florida locations closed permanently, and in one city, they disappeared for good. All Jacksonville Bojangles restaurants are now closed. The company is trying to trim its store count in areas where restaurants are posting weak financial results to add more locations in Los Angeles and other California cities next year. 9. Moe's Southwest Grill. The first casual Mexican restaurant chain, Moe's Southwest Grill, first opened in Atlanta in 2000. In recent years, the family-friendly brand has been struggling to differentiate itself from competitors, lagging behind restaurants that also offer a Mexican-inspired menu. Data provided by Restaurant Business shows that Moe's sales dropped more than 23% since the pandemic, and its footprint dropped by 6% from 700 locations in 2021 to 658 in December 2022. Today, there are only 628 restaurants in operation, and that figure is going to drop even further because the company has announced the closure of half of its stores in the state of Indiana. 8. Raising Cane's. Raising Cane's, known for its chicken fingers, has been struggling with supply chain problems and a shortage of chicken and other ingredients for a couple of years now. The company has experienced a significant decline in sales due to the shortage. and rising crime levels near some of its locations are also impacting the chain's bottom line. This year, Raising Cane's decided to shutter restaurants that were reporting car break-ins in the parking lots and other robberies in the neighborhood they were located in. 7. Hardee's, burger chain. Hardee's seems to be in trouble. In 2022, annual sales declined by 4.2%, and average sales volumes dropped by 3%. The brand is a sister to Carl's Jr., and both chains have been reporting weak sales since at least 6. Steak and Shake. Primarily located in the Midwest, the chain Steak and Shake is gradually fading into the background. For years, the fast food company has been shrinking. 2023 is no exception. Complaints about declining service and product quality have deteriorated the chain's reputation and popularity. 5. Papa Murphy's. 2022 was a particularly hard period for the beloved pizza chain Papa Murphy's. Many franchisees weren't expecting demand would rapidly cool off, pushing overall sales down by 11.4%. The owner of the brand, MTY Food Group, lamented the closing of 72 franchise locations and the impact that had on the company's bottom line. 4. Baskin-Robbins. Baskin-Robbins, the ice cream chain, has seen brighter days. Owned by Inspired Brands, the chain only added 4 new stores in the U.S. over the last 5 years, producing only a fraction of the parent company's revenue. Experts have serious questions about whether the chain will survive another 5 years. 3. Starbucks. San Francisco is facing mass store closings this year due to rampant crime, and now even Starbucks is trying to leave the city due to safety concerns. Late last month, the coffeehouse chain announced that it would shutter 7 locations in San Francisco as a part of a larger evaluation of its existing store portfolio. 2. Pizzeria Locale. Owned by Chipotle Mexican Grill, Pizzeria Locale has been declining for years. Since 2018, more than 65 restaurants across Kansas City and Cincinnati have been shuttered. Over the summer, Chipotle announced it would give up on its pizza chain, and starting on July 10th, measures to start dissolving the business began to be put in place. By the end of the year, Pizzeria Locale will cease to exist. 1. Hooters. In October 1983, Hooters opened its first restaurant in the U.S. This means this month, the chain is turning 40. After 4 decades in business, Hooters has faced its fair share of challenges. From management crises to failed projects, rising competition, and the pandemic, the company did not always stand on solid financial ground, even though it became part of American culture. Hooters is a chain in decline, and locations are getting sparser across the U.S. Although the company didn't officially announce store closings in the second half of 2023, a report by Scrape Hero has shown that Hooters' footprint has been shrinking quarter after quarter. If you have found the video insightful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel.